to be always having somebody who's willing to come and talk with me. You know, I don't like to talk. I found Paramjit, and he likes to talk as much as I do. But it's Coach Sandra, the compassionate queen of straight talk, and I am really, truly enjoying having these Friday morning interviews, and they're all on YouTube as well. We've had some wonderful guests, and today Paramjit is going to be just as wonderful. We met because we're both Toastmasters, and we have connected over Zoom, just recognizing there's something very similar that attracts me to Paramjit. And Paramjit never seems to run away from my straight tongue. So there's something there that we recognize in each other. And that's why we're going to talk more about leadership today, all these different styles of leadership, or how leadership has played such a role in our lives. And hopefully you will be able to do some reflecting for yourself as well about how are you leading yourself or serving others, or are you a little dictator? And where is your happy space out of all of that? So Paramjit is from India. And I'm going to just read a little bit of what you sent to me, and it's in the article. People can read that as well. But I'm going to read that as a bit of a setup for our conversation today, and then we'll have Paramjit introduce himself. Quote from Paramjit: I am following my leadership style at my present assignment, which is interclassed in Dubai, I think, or United Arab Emirates. I guess they're not the same, are they? Which is going very smoothly. However, the quest for more learning never ends. And I believe, says Paramjit, that there is always room for improving your leadership qualities. That's where we agree, and we're going to have great discussions on that. My life, he continues, has been like a curve in an ECG report. I relate to that. And life has pulled me down to zero. My zero was a clinical depression. I don't know where yours was, but you can explain that. And again, with hard work and blessings and joy, the superpower and resilience jumped back up to the top. Happened numerous times. And if we're living, I think it'll happen to all of us numerous times. We don't have to give up. We just have to say, woo, we're in for the ride, in for the ride. And it's been your unshattered faith. I like that word. The unshattered faith in the unknown and destiny helped you sail through your life. So just to get started, Paramjit, where are you from? And what was your family life like? Were you born into poverty? Were you born into great wealth? Or where were you born?
Thank you, Sandra, first of all, having me on your programs, Conversations with Sandra. I was listening to all of your podcasts, and I thought one day you may ask me also to be here. And I'm lucky one to be here. Thanks for permitting me to be here. For my life, I was born in Chandigarh, a place in the north of India. And this is one of the best planned city and called City Beautiful. And it was designed and developed by French architect Corbusier. It's a modern city, as good as like any European city. It was a brainchild of Jawaharlal Nehru times. And I had 3 siblings. And it is in the center. The weather is, like we have -240. And my family was from a middle class family. I don't know how you people understand the middle class family in different countries, but in a middle class family means who are okay having things which are going very well in their life, not very privileged, not very poor.
I'm just going to speak to that for a second, because that brings us a good point where people can understand India does have middle class. Canada and the States definitely has middle class. Yeah. And when you have these developing countries, they're the ones that have, you're either dirt poor or you're very wealthy, and very few in the middle that are fighting for it. But it's the middle class that gives our country stability, isn't it? Yeah, so we need it. So yes, we do have that similarity between India and Canada. Sorry, go ahead.
That's, I think the major chunk of finance for the government also come from the middle class, because they want to go to upper class,
Mhm.
so they spend money. They spend money on the things which upper class is already enjoying. So I
That's
think that a
right.
lot of money comes from them. And my parents were really very kind-hearted, and it was like an inn in my home. Anybody coming, because this is capital city, anybody coming from the village or from anywhere, they used to stay with us. And that was the learnings from everyone. A lot of
Mm.
relatives coming. And the best thing was, in the evenings, anybody coming or not coming, still my father will sit with us, speak with us. I can talk to him about anything. That was actually not normal. If you see, as in that time, particularly in the 90s, 90, 80s, 60, 70s, it was not like this. It was not like this. And even my sisters, who are the first one from my family to start working after studying, that was not very normal in our family. My father allowed them to do everything.
Wow.
And yeah, one of them now retired as a gazetted officer, another one is a teacher. So, and they were my ideals, because they studied, I studied also because of them.
That's unusual because so many countries say, oh, the girls aren't worth educating. No, the girls have to keep their mouths shut, look after the house, have the babies, and it gives the women no chance to expand beyond. And it's such a gift that your family gave the girls in the family an equal opportunity. And I really like that you say that, well, they got to study, so I got to study. Beautiful shift. And that's what we keep hoping for around the world.
Yeah.
And still there's some kind of a glass ceiling. And I sometimes look at the glass ceiling that we women have, because women do have a glass ceiling. And there's a mix of whether it's other imposed. And now as we grow as women, it takes decades. We
Yeah.
start to realize some of that glass ceiling is us not recognizing we're holding ourselves back as well.
Yeah.
So the opportunities can be there in some countries,
Yeah.
but we have to have the courage to step beyond our own limiting belief.
Yeah.
And others,
Absolutely.
it's just, no, you're off to the
Yeah.
side. It's amazing.
And even till now, my elder sister, they are my ideal. I have a way, I respect them. Even today, when something is required, I go back to them for guidance and for help. And if I take it fast forward, you may be going to ask later, but I will just tell you, I have two daughters also. So for me, my daughters also, like, they are, I like, in India, I don't know, the boy child is very important. So if you don't have a boy, you feel like everybody will ask you. I never felt like that way. I think they are better than my any son. These two daughters are better than any son, and I allowed them within their limits, whatever they can do, whatever they can experiment. And one of them is happened to be in Canada now, having a PR in Canada, staying in.
Beautiful.
So the other one is, so I think that particularly what I learned from my father is still going on as a family legacy. You can say the girls can, they let them do anything they want. Let them do experiment.
And that's so important, isn't it? Because if we start to recognize, we were talking before we went live about how unusual we each are. I don't know how many immigrants or people in other countries say to Sandra, yeah, you're not a normal Canadian. And even the Canadians are saying to me, Sandra, how can you do that? How can you put that pink in your hair? How can you travel all over the world? Like, how can you? How can you? Because I'm curious. An
Yeah,
adventure. I gotta have my wings. And if somebody else isn't supporting me in it, I'll find people who will. But it's so beautiful that you had a family that supported you right from the beginning. And I have to say, my family, actually, we grew up on the farm. We didn't have a lot of money, but we were never poor. So how does that mindset come? We just didn't have money. But we had fresh meat on the hoof. We had vegetables in the garden. We had fruit on the trees. We lived very good life.
yeah,
But I never thought I'd get to travel the world. So it was the curiosity, but the support was there. And you had that support.
yeah, yeah. My father, my mother was like the sport, not to me only. I think all of our relatives, all of our kinship, I think everybody was coming to them for everything, like guidance. And my mother was is very kind-hearted. Even now, she is about 86. And when I talk to her, she is just encouraging every moment. She is at this age also. She encourages for me. Okay, do best. The God is with you. She has a one fixed style. Like God is with you. God is always with you. God is always with you. He will just rise, do your best. And honesty is the best policy. That all, even at this age, she will, whenever I call her in India, she say the same thing. But I learned when I was young. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So out of all of that, you got into this idea of leadership. And it wasn't even getting into the idea. You just grew up with my favorite one, servant leadership.
Yeah.
I go into the prisons, and in that doing, it's no good for me to go in there, visit once a month or every 6 weeks and be a dictator, tell them what to do. That's not what they need. They need my love and my guidance, my enthusiasm, and you can do it, rah, rah, and then give them some tools to work with. That's what I do. How do you do, and why do you do servant leadership?
I think if you look into, I'll talk about a little about religion, right? Our Sikhism, the first thing is to serve others. I think that is one point which, and then it came from my family. Like anybody coming to my home, my mother was never angry, just serving them. The best thing they can, even she may not give to me, but to the person who is coming to your home. And when I went to the industry, my first job, I worked in a Nestle. There were 250 people. And I was like I was not having an experience of the industry after doing my graduation in engineering from a Swiss institute. And when I went there, I started the way like being a servant to them, being of service to them. And my manager was very angry with me. Like even I was surprised one day he commented to me, "Oh, I think you are very close to your people. You should not be doing that. Must become a leader. You should become a person who have a voice." And I saw you. He told me, literally, like we had a big canteen. He said, "You even eat food in the canteen with the people you working."
Oh, you didn't eat with the people that you worked with, that you were leading.
That was his idea. That was his idea. So I told him, "Sir, I have one question. They are working 8 to 9 hours with me, like hand to hand. How can I leave them like this? Anyone, when I'm close to them, I can get very good things done from here." And that was, he said, "Okay, your choice here. I don't know. I don't know. You are going to suffer in your life." That's what he told me.
You're going to suffer. You know what we're going to suffer from? We're going to have such a good time.
Yeah. And I did a lot of things, and I was promoted within 6 months from supervisor grade to supervisor 3. And the best thing was, people were very happy with me. When I resigned from the company, the union chief and all workers went to the management and told them that we want this person not to go, because I was helping them. I was very close to them, and our production targets were more than everyone else. That is only because I was like, I feel I'm serving to them. I was free. They have to work with the machines. I was free in the whole of the shift, like 8-hour shift. I think that is the beginning of it. And wherever I went there, even now where I'm working, I have about 60 people working with me, and I have the same thing. I think it's ingrained inside somewhere. It's very difficult to change that particular heart, I think so. And I feel I have to be of service, and they will give me service back.
I feel the same way, because when you're with the people, it's so much more exciting than being up at the top looking down like a snob, saying you do this, you do that. Like, what would that be? That's the old feudal system, or the dictatorships. And we have to have a time when something, if a safety issue comes up, you have to be very direct. Stop the machine. You haven't got time to talk about it. Stop that, push that button, and you expect response.
Yeah.
because now there's an urgency.
Yeah.
But once people understand all the styles and the reason, it still comes back to how do we want to live?
Yeah.
Where do we want to spend our lives? In service and working together,
Yeah.
or being a dictator?
Yeah.
And that's really, so just for the listeners, it's not that we don't do all the varieties of leadership.
Yeah.
I said recently at our club that having fun or being friendly does not diminish
Yeah.
our impact of what needs to be done. But there's a way to do it that everybody wins. And usually that's reaching in so that they don't even realize they're being helped.
Yeah.
At the very base, servant leadership means they don't even know. You reach in, you help raise them up, and they look around and say, look what I did. They don't even know you helped. Now, that's really hard on the ego, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very difficult. And what you said is, as a leader or as a manager in a company, we have to perform our role very effectively. That is very clear. Like you said, in emergency, you have to have a different communication style. And like even leadership also, you have to sometimes confront them also. But the way we confront them is also very important.
Absolutely.
The, the
Conflict
way we talk.
resolution. What do we
Yeah.
do with conflict resolution is those times that there's going to be a confrontation. What's the style? What are the different styles you can see how you deal with conflict resolution?
See what now I will see you. I'll give you two scenarios. My boss and me.
Okay.
Right. He was looking after the department before me at my same position. Now he's a director. So whenever there's a conflict, he will call both the people, listen to them, abuse them. This. Like he will abuse them. Like he will. What is this? You have done this. The best thing I do is, I said, okay, come. First of all, let us listen and learn where was we at mistake. Let's learn, listen to one another. See, in NLP, I do NLP, so I take it a perspective from neither from this party or this party. I listen to both of them. And I ask them to, even you will be surprised, I ask them to take the positions, reverse the position, and listen from other people's point of view
I
also.
love that. I love that.
And I am not biased. Even people know. Let us say, Sandra is working with me today, right? I had a big fight with Sandra in the morning, and now Sandra has a conflict with somebody else after 1 hour. For me, that conflict will not overpower me. Sandra is Sandra. That person is that. Whatever I had in the morning will not have effect on my hair. I just treat Sandra like, and I don't have a preconceived idea about Sandra, like Sandra is like this, Sandra is going to do like this. So I don't use those preconceived ideas. Anybody can be different in different situations. So always listen to them. And I will be really happy to share with you. When I joined this organization, one of my senior director, he told there are different communities. Like we have not only communities, different nationalities in my office, right?
Yes.
And he said, Paramjit, how you will manage? I don't want any conflict. He used to visit our office every 1 or 2 months to settle down the things. A director level person. And now it's now 11 years. He has only visited 2 times. That also not for solving a conflict, just to see me or just to say, okay, hello to everyone in the company. Because the best thing I said, we have a conflict and find out the reason and remove that reason slowly. There's no fight. There's no. I think from last so many years, I don't have people like this. Like we have a conflict, and anybody can come to me anytime. I'm open. Just there to just can I talk to you? I listen to them, and I think I'm with them every time. Full day, I'm with them. They're open. Anything they can talk to me. And what last week we had one gentleman who had a like he's an outsourced labor, and I really like to share with you that also. He's an outsourced labor, so his visa was not being renewed by the company. He said, "I want cash. The owner want cash." So I just told everyone we have to help this boy and we want to get this person working. Can you imagine? Within 8 hours, all the money was arranged and that man got visa. Because I don't say, oh no, you have to give the visa or you have to pay the money. No, but just say, okay, finish. We have to help this man. So this is the way we have become a community now. Our
Isn't that
department is a
beautiful?
community.
I'm so happy you brought up that word community. Well, you're from India and you're in the UAE. That says it for itself. We are not staying in our home base very much. So our parents are aging often by themselves as the kids run off around the world.
Yeah.
And I understand that's one country where actors can get hired to pretend they're the children to go and visit the parents. And I thought, oh no. But that community that you grew up in and the community I grew up in were very similar, where the door was open and anybody showed up. They were in the conversation. They were at the table. If they needed a bed, they were there as well.
Yeah.
That whole idea is such a blessing for us that too many people are missing out on today.
Yeah.
And how we help people to start and recognize community is a family feeling, even if it's not your family. But you can have family at work and still know that you have the job to be done. And they need to understand what that job is that you have to do as well. I think the biggest gift I bring to the world is helping people step in their shoes. And that's very similar to when you say, I'm listening to both sides. Because even if you don't think there's anything that's magic, there's 10% right in there somewhere. Let's find the 10% and build what's right from there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful concept. Why was it that you went so high and then went so low? How did that happen?
Okay. Went very high and went very low. Okay, first of all, not as you said, you had depression, you went into depression. I had only every time with the finances only.
Oh, finances only.
So I started I share. I think when I shared something with you in the papers also, I started a company from 5,000 rupees and went up to like 20 billion rupees every month. And I had two partners and they were not helping, or I can give one example. So rather than continue, I was feeling myself, contained. So I said, okay, no, leave them. Let us do something else. And this way, and even now, another thing which helped, okay, that is a part of my life. For the finances, what happened is I helped other people also with somebody coming with to me. I am having a issue. I'm not able to pay the bills. I'm not able to. So that one habit, which is I'm not able to take over. Somebody coming with that, when he's weeping, I can't stop. I pay them, even believing on them. Believing on them. Like I believe that this person is really genuinely in trouble. So I think that is one thing. And I feel wherever I have not I controlled my emotions and took some decisions, that was the time when the things went from again from hero to zero and zero to hero. That is, I have to keep my emotions checked, not only on finances, only for everything. I think that is where I moved. I went to one company, I became manager, then went down zero, again started the company, again back. And here I came to UAE, first company, made it very high. And then he said he doesn't know. Now, this 12 years, I'm in the same company. And of course, I worked for a long time with every company, but made some few decisions. I think financially, I made a few decisions of helping others or use most of them. I'm not a spendthrift. And I'm not a I want a big car. I see car as a not as luxury. I think it's another machine for me. So it's not like, and now I have Toyota. Now I have to have a next big car. No, nothing. But I helping others only, I came into trouble with the finances most of the time.
I'm a bit of a stubborn one with that. Yes, my heart gets ahead of me and I want to, and then I still have the practical to say, okay, Sandra, you're an old fart. You better hang on to your money. That's not to hoard it. My money moves around through me and so on, but there still is the practicality that if I don't look after myself, I'll have nothing to give to anyone else.
I was
And I
not
don't
good in
serve
that.
anybody.
Sorry, I interrupted. I was not good in that.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was not good in that.
I don't serve anybody just to give my money away and then be out on the street and homeless with them. Like that doesn't serve anything at all. Yeah. My gift is generally helping people shift the mind shift, start to live in their heart. And you can smile no matter what your circumstances are, and then they won't stay the same because pretty soon you'll have a place to lay your head.
I think I learned the lesson. Now. Now I don't do that again. From so many like from 7-8 years, I am still now learned the lesson. As you said, practically how much maximum I can do, not going beyond my limits and doing that. So that was a major reason, and I think that otherwise no problem. I had a good time, and I enjoy every moment of my life, down, up, no issue.
It's like a roller coaster ride, you know. It's like life is just like, whee, let's see what's next. Oh, I did that, and I don't think I want to do that one again, but let's do this one over here. And so I have learned, even though I would start out buying things for people, then I learned, well, how else could they get what it is that they need? And that's where I started learning and teaching them the mind shift. Instead of me giving it to them, I might end up with a little bit to help them top it up, but I'm usually helping them find a way to work through it and get towards it themselves. And that gets me excited. Oh, what's the proposal here? What's this all about? And creating our lives. Oh my goodness! I
think one thing what you said is somebody told me, like, you don't give them the fish, you give them art to catch the fish.
Yes,
that is what you do,
and that is exciting. And in my opinion, when you are bringing people in conflict resolution in together and helping them to talk it through, then nothing needs to escalate.
Yeah. Nothing. That way, I am very happy. Very I think there's no conflict now in my in office or in family life. Also, I don't. I talk. I will listen to everyone. Let us talk it. Not stop the communication. Let be in communication to one another. I think that is the only way to, even for the families, like we are living, we may be leaders or communicators. I think with the families also, we have the same issues, lost a lot of time. Ego, what you said, one word was ego that time. And I think that is a very important word. What I feel is what is your ego? What you are? If you have time, I can say one, like for the ego, one day I was like little angry with one of the person, and later on I went back to my room. And
where was this? This one, and was it home with people or?
No, not in the office I'm talking about.
At the office, okay.
Yeah. So I went back to my room, I sat down and I thought, how does God allow me to one soul can scold the another soul? This is maybe beyond my No. I think because he has not studied in his life. He didn't get the privilege to study. Now my job is to uplift him, help him, rather than putting being angry with him or being. I went back to him and I hugged him, talked to him, and I had a good time. What I mean to say is, as a person, I feel if you are more educated, you have more knowledge, you are at one level. I think that is the servant leadership again come there. It is not that these people, because they didn't study at that time when it was a time for study, or they didn't get a time or money to study. They were not privileged. So I have to be with them, help them to grow. So yes. I take a lot of free classes for these people in my office also. You don't know how to read the drawings. Okay, I will teach you. So this way, I think that is the way I feel. Everybody's same, equal. We like any religion, any community, any nationality. I don't consider them different. I consider one only. Yeah, that is what I feel.
I love that. There are so many opportunities for us to, like, I don't have any PhD. I'm no engineer. I didn't get to university. I was a school teacher. And at that time, it was Teachers College, which was a year after high school, which still included grade 13. But I was a really good teacher. Now, just because now they want your university with your Master's of Education or your Bachelor of Education, whatever, I could still go teach, except now I'm too old. But they want to hire the people with all these higher education credits.
Yeah.
But that doesn't diminish how creative I am with the children. I used to have my superintendent come in the classroom and say, Sandra, you're way ahead. This is what they're talking about coming with some of the stuff. I didn't know. I was just doing the Sandra thing. And so I really honor you that because you've got your engineer papers, because you got your learning, and because you're high up in a corporation, you don't look down on Sandra because she doesn't have that letter behind her name. And that is so critical because everyone has something to teach us. And I have learned so much from those that others would call the lowest of the low. Well, I go to prison and I learn. I come out with more from prison than I take in. Of course, they don't believe that. They think we bring in much more than we take out. And that's the magic. That's the magic of true communication. Nobody above another. We have different skill sets. We have different advantages, and it's for us to share it. Yeah. And in my case, being self-employed, moving into the coaching world, I forget to ask and say it's okay to also get paid as a coach. Yeah. So it's a real challenge versus somebody that gets a paycheck. But what you are doing by taking them into your office and teaching them what they need is truly coaching within the corporation.
Yeah, I think first of all, because you had talked a lot of time about your prison meetings and everything. I really salute you for that, first of all, because that needs a courage to do that. And for me, why she is doing, what he's getting out of it, right? I think that is what I also do for my own satisfaction, my own feelings of. I feel that way. I don't know what you feel, but I feel
yes,
this is for making me happy. Yes. That particular 2 hours, and the best thing, the people you are going to be with in a prison, how they feel happy. That is very important. Oh, Sandra is coming today. We will have a great time. I think that is not education. That education and that happiness you cannot find anywhere with the money. Any type of money you cannot get it. That I believe in that, and I always look for that also the same way, the way you had been doing it. And of course, I may not be able to doing it the way you are doing, but okay, the different ways I am trying my best to do, and that is really commendable. I really appreciate you for that. And I can myself feel by sitting here what you must be feeling while in the prison with the people. I can come to that heart, your heart. I can find out that how much you might have got satisfaction with that. And that is the way I feel with my people when I deal with my people, when I talk with them, and with the family, with the relatives, with everyone, wherever I am. And that's why I think any situation, another thing which I don't know how you take it, how you feel, no complain about anything. For family, for God told you didn't give me this thing, I lost this thing. I think I lost because of my own faults, so I have to work back again. No complaining with any. He did to me, or because of my wife, she did to me. I don't do that. I think that is the same thing again with the workers also. If you find out faults in them, like, oh, you made the mistake. I feel that he made a mistake because I didn't train him. That is what my personal feeling is. So I must train him to that level that he doesn't make that mistake again. And that has also helped me a lot.
Yes. Yes. I think that's such a beautiful note that we're leaving on here. I think this kind of winds up. Let's start our leadership, which is going to be leading from the heart. Yes, we have education. Yes, we study. Yes, we figure out what makes us tick when we're feeling good. What are we doing when we're feeling good? Let's do some more of that, because when we feel good, people around us feel good. And I've noticed when I get tired, when I really physically get tired or exhausted, my uglies come out. It's not that we ever lose them.
Yeah.
We've all got potential for everything from ugly to beautiful.
Yeah.
But where do we choose to live? And I can feel when I'm exhausted that that's not a sensible thing to do. So I get my rest, or I take my break. I do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
But I like to live, and I'm sure I live 90% of my life with a grin on my face and a song in my heart. And that other 10%, just honor it and look after it. So final words from you, Paramjit, and we'll close this meeting out for today.
I think I will build on what you said only that first of all, whatever my age, I don't want to stop working. I don't want to stop working. I will continue whatever the way I can serve, whatever the way I can be with people, even physically, mentally, spiritually, and I think today you told in beginning you told one word that like I feel is unfortunate today that we don't have the people, the leaders or people who feel from the heart, and maybe there will be a few people, maybe 10%, 20%, but we are moving into a direction where there's a dictatorship of the things, and I feel we need to help others also to become a servant leaders in a way that we can convey to them, and I do it in my office on the daily basis wherever I am, and what I have done today also that I'm learning more on servant leadership. How can we implement in an organization?
Yes.
So that is what I'm working on, and hope that this I will be able to communicate with the people, and I will be able to help those people to improve upon that. Yeah, that's what I can
We can do
think
some
of.
of that together.
Yes, surely. I think that's the one because your heart is that way. Your heart has a feeling of serving, so that is the first important thing, and that is if a lot of people like this work together in a coordination, I think we can make other people also believe in this and start working. And the way they get the benefits, they will be really happy and share with others. We can start from anywhere, scratch.
Thank you so much, Paramjit. Let's say goodbye to everyone there in Zoom land. Catch you next
Thank you very
Friday.
much. Thank you very much, Sandra. Thank you very much.
And we'll be back.
Yeah, we actually. Thank you.